Here is the element of freedom. The air nomads detached themselves from worldly concerns and found peace and freedom.
Apa ini second hand embarrassment? Second hand embarrassment itu rasa malu yang kamu rasakan gara-gara kelakuan orang lain ya. Ya contohnya banyak ya, ada yang pernah ngerasain nggak second hand embarrassment? Pas lagi apa?
¿Qué significa embarrassed? ¿Significa embarazada o significa avergonzada? Significa avergonzada. No te olvides, enjoy by learning.
Listen to me real close, baby, because here's the thing. Embarrassment isn't a real thing. Embarrassment comes with shame. And if you don't have any shame towards something you did, then it wasn't embarrassing. So anyone can run around and be like, oh my God, that was so embarrassing. But if you don't feel any type of way towards it, it was not embarrassing.
Embarrassed. 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 Embarrassed.
Second-hand embarrassment is something I still don't understand to this day. Because why am I ashamed on behalf of someone else? Sometimes the people that are even involved in the situation are not ashamed of themselves. I know it might sound dramatic, yeah? But I feel shame when someone is doing something shameful beside me. I don't even need to know them. I might be scrolling online and someone does something weird and I'm like, oh God. So it makes me wonder when some people don't feel shame at all. Talk less of feeling shame on behalf of others. How then they do
Basically, embarrassment is a function of the ego, the Yetzer Hara, and shame is a function of our soul or our neshama. So we only get embarrassed in public. Embarrassment is a function of the ego, which is the Yetzer Hara. So when a person becomes embarrassed and they don't speak back or they don't lash out, they're literally subduing their Yetzer Hara, they're rising above their nature, and in that measure, that's why it's so beloved by Hashem.
If you like about Japan, Japanese, sushi, anime, anything about Japan, you have to know this one. The word shame or embarrassment means haji in Japanese. But when you break it down 2 letters, it becomes ear and heart. So when you feel shamed and embarrassed, going through pain or failure, that's when the growth comes. You have to listen to what your heart says. You have to face your emotions and what you're going through and then learn the lesson. Follow me or regret.
Are you one of those people who gets embarrassed a lot? Well, as far as I am concerned, embarrassment is a made-up emotion that doesn't actually exist. What that feeling is actually judgment. You're feeling judged by the people around you because you think you look like an idiot as a result of something that you just did. That thought is coming from you. You're the one that's thinking you look like an idiot. The only people who have any right to judge you are the people who actually know you, and that is the same reason why they won't.
Word of the day.
Humiliated.
Humiliated. The term humiliated refers to the feeling of embarrassment and shame. It involves a sense of loss of dignity or self-respect. For example, after pouring her heart out to him, confessing her deepest feeling, he responded with harsh rejection, leaving her feeling completely humiliated and devastated emotionally.
What does awkward mean? That it causes embarrassment or inconvenience? She has put me in an awkward position. Not smooth or graceful. He walks in such an awkward way. Uncomfortable or abnormal. The baby sleeping in an awkward position. Hard to do or to deal with. The exam had some awkward questions. Deliberately unreasonable or uncooperative. Now you're just being awkward.
Second-hand embarrassment. Second-hand embarrassment, also known as vicarious embarrassment, is the feeling of embarrassment or discomfort that you experience on behalf of someone else who is going through an embarrassing or awkward situation. For example, let's say you're watching a comedy show on TV, and one of the characters is in a situation where they keep making embarrassing mistakes in front of a large audience. You start to cringe and feel uncomfortable for that character, even though they're just acting. Follow for more.
That's funny as shit right there. You ain't got no videos on your profile, except shit you reshared. But yet you want to come on here and say, this is the definition of embarrassment. No, the definition of embarrassment is you taking time and energy out of your fucking day to comment stupid shit. Hi, hater, how you doing? My name's Wayne, also known as Tennessee Outlaw. You don't like my shit, you can just keep fucking scrolling, buddy, because, I mean, I'm going to do me whether you like it or not, okay? Do what makes you happy. I'll do what makes me happy. Have a good day.
With anything you first start, you have to be open to the idea of, yes, this might be a little bit embarrassing, but you need to get over that. Who cares? The only thing that is truly embarrassing is staying in the exact same situation that you're in forever. You'd rather stay in the exact same situation forever than to be just a little bit embarrassed? That's what's embarrassing. You're going to be stuck forever? When I first took the ASVAB to join the military, I got a 24. I couldn't join any branch of the service. I couldn't join one branch. I had to hire a tutor, study with them every single day, so I could get the bare minimum to be able to get into the branch that I wanted. I got the bare minimum. Everything that I've ever done in my life, I had to be willing to be a little bit embarrassed and understand I don't know how to do these things. Put yourself out there. Put yourself out there and understand that this is completely normal. It's okay. I got your back. Shoot me a DM and we can get to work right now.
ពាក្យថា shy ហើយនឹង embarrassed ពីរពាក្យហ្នឹងបើសិនជាយើងអត់ដឹងន័យវាទេអាចនឹងប្រើខុសខ្លាំងមែនទែនអញ្ចឹងពាក្យថា shy បើសិនជាខ្ញុំបកប្រែខ្មែរទៅអាចនឹងប្រើពាក្យថាអៀនអញ្ចឹងការអៀនគឺអាចនឹងជាអត្តចរិតពីធម្មជាតិរបស់យើងយើងអត់សូវហ៊ាននិយាយច្រើនជាមួយមនុស្សខាងក្រៅយើងចូលចិត្តនៅតែម្នាក់ឯងស្ងប់ស្ងាត់អីចឹងទៅអញ្ចឹងអានឹងគឺជាអត្តចរិតពីធម្មជាតិ shy ក៏ប៉ុន្តែពាក្យថា embarrassed បើសិនជាខ្ញុំបកខ្មែរគឺបានន័យថាខ្មាស់អញ្ចឹងសេចក្តីខ្មាស់គឺបានន័យថាយើងអាចនឹងធ្វើអ្វីមួយខុសឆ្គងទៅកាន់នរណាគេម្នាក់ឬមួយក៏យើងអាចនឹងធ្វើឲ្យមានកំហុសអីគេមួយហើយយើងខ្មាស់អត់ហ៊ានទៅជួបម្នាក់នឹងឬមួយក៏អត់ហ៊ានចេញមុខដោះសារដោះស្រាយអីទេអញ្ចឹងហើយបានជាយើងខ្មាស់ដោយសារតែទង្វើដែលយើងបានធ្វើអញ្ចឹងម្ដងទៀត shy ហើយនឹង embarrass អត់មានន័យដូចគ្នាទេបានន័យខុសគ្នាឆ្ងាយណាស់អាមួយជាអត្តចរិតពីធម្មជាតិអាមួយទៀតគឺដោយសារកំហុសដែលយើងបានធ្វើអីគេមួយ
Do you often find yourself saying, I'm so embarrassed, or dwelling on something you did or said that you think was embarrassing? A lot of people, especially high achievers, perfectionists, or those with social anxiety, tend to say, I'm so embarrassed, when what they're actually feeling is shame. So embarrassment is an emotion we experience in response to something that we consider morally neutral. We don't like that it happened or how we presented ourselves in that moment, but we don't think that it means something about who we are as a person. This could be if you fall and trip up a stair, or you pull instead of push a door, or you have food in your teeth. We certainly may wish it didn't happen, but we don't feel like there's something fundamentally wrong with us because it happened. Shame is an emotion we experience in response to something that we consider unacceptable or morally wrong. Wrong according to the rules that society has set up for us, or wrong according to the rules we've set up for ourselves. Shame directs our focus inward, and we feel like something is wrong with us as a person because of what we did, said, or what happened. Shame sounds more like, how could I do that? Why would I do that? What kind of person does that? A lot of people, especially with social anxiety, you may be experiencing shame where the average person would experience embarrassment. One of the greatest antidotes to shame is self-compassion. The more compassionate you can be toward yourself, the more accepting you become of yourself, and eventually the less shame you'll feel. So next time you find yourself saying, I'm so embarrassed, I invite you to pause and really check in with yourself. Are you feeling embarrassment or is it shame? And then do your best to let in some self-compassion and go forward with your day.
Talk about the difference between shame and embarrassment. There are some really big differences. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you a quick test to help you distinguish whether you're feeling shame or whether you're feeling embarrassment. So shame is a form of extreme self-consciousness. Shame is usually a response to a more serious social transgression where you've really effed up, or it can be something that you experience completely alone. That's what makes it the frickin' kicker. With shame, there's this feeling of character failing. Shame carries heavy moral overtones that embarrassment does not. An example of this could be the negative beliefs that you hold about the way you look or how much you weigh, because you've internalized those negative beliefs for so long that you feel deeply ashamed of how you look. Meanwhile, embarrassment tends to be the gap between how you want to be perceived versus how others actually perceive you. Embarrassment is so subjective and varies from person to person. For embarrassment to occur, it almost always has to happen in the presence of others. Unlike shame, embarrassment is typically more morally neutral, meaning that you aren't really defying any of your morals in acts of embarrassment. An example of this would be, let's say you're in the library and your phone rings really loudly and everyone's staring at you. But here's a quick test to help you distinguish between whether you're feeling shame or embarrassment. There are two questions that I would ask yourself. The first is, would I be feeling this if nobody saw me? And the second is, did my behavior make me question who I am and the person that I want to be? If you answered no to both of these questions, then you're most likely experiencing embarrassment. If you answered yes to any of these questions, then there probably is shame present.
Embarrassment is not an emotion, it's an ego response, and let me tell you why. Your ego is your sense of self and your arbiter of value. It's what makes you want to stay alive, it's what makes you afraid of dying, and it's what makes you arbitrarily value things in order to construct an identity so you don't go insane. If you've never meditated, been spiritual, or learned about this before, you probably live in a world full of ego delusions in where you completely view the world based on your value attachments to it. You view the world in terms of your job, your success, your family, your school, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. And that's normal because we're all programmed to be like that from birth, even though it is very important to leave that at some point in time, and I highly recommend you do. Taoism, Buddhism, the false ego, these are all things that you should search up in case you're interested. But anyways, how is this related to embarrassment? Well, in order for embarrassment to happen, you have to have values, you have to have ego attachments that are derived from other people. That being that your sense of value or identity or sense of self is derived from the actions and opinions and whatnot of other people. And when that is violated, when that is broken, when that is challenged, it makes you feel bad. It makes you feel embarrassed. But it's really just an ego response. A lot of things are just an ego response. That drop-down gut feeling, that's always ego. That is not embarrassment and shame and all these other different emotions. It's just one thing. It's your sense of self being challenged, and it's a small part of you dying. So when embarrassment happens, that little dying of the self happens because other people didn't behave the way you needed them to in order for you to value yourself. You have two options. You can either, one, lose the ego attachment, completely die, or you can save yourself. You can say, I'm going to get them now. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to fulfill those values and show them, which will then in turn make them feel bad, right? But it's all bullshit. You're all engaging in value systems you don't need to be. And the competition between egos is the only reason for conflict in this world, so you can imagine how well this plays out for society. All worrying and stressing about things that don't matter. Hating yourself because you're not fulfilling some burden that you've put on yourself. It's all so funny and silly, and you just need to let go and not give a fuck, because that's the only way to really get the full experience. Like, why do you think monks be the chillest people? It's because they've been not giving a fuck for 50 years. What do you think meditation is? It's like the ultimate, I'm just chilling. They already understand what the ego is, and they're so busy trying to get rid of all of their values so that they can enjoy everything blissfully. They don't got time for anything else because it's the best thing that you can do. Like, the reason why going to the gym and filling out these ego systems, these value systems will never make you happy is because there's always a dragon to slay. Once you get there, you are confronted with the fact that it does not matter. All you get is contentment, and you realize you could have left the burden without fulfilling it. Because you set the fucking burden. Guess what? You're going to keep setting burdens until you learn to not value burdens. Learn to not value values. Learn that your ego is not you. Thank you, and have a great day.
Wear a mask. ¿Estoy embarazado? No, my friends. No, no, no. En este caso, la palabra embarrassed en inglés significa que alguien se siente avergonzado o apenado, mientras que la palabra embarazado en español se refiere a estar en un estado de gestación. Por lo tanto, la traducción correcta a esta expresión sería algo así como me siento avergonzado o me siento apenado, pero no me siento embarazado. I'm embarrassed. No te metas en situaciones embarazosas, my friend. I'm embarrassed significa me siento apenado. ¿Ok? Vamos a la siguiente. In my free time, I like to make fun of my friends. Una posible traducción directa al español podría ser: en mi tiempo libre me gusta hacer diversión de mis amigos. No, my friends, no es así. ¿Por qué? Fíjate bien, aunque la traducción hacer diversión no es del todo incorrecta, ¿sí? O sea, no es incorrecta, no es una expresión común en español. Una traducción más precisa a esta expresión, una traducción más precisa y más natural sería: en mi tiempo libre me gusta burlarme de mis amigos. I like to make fun of my friends. What about you? Do you like to make fun of me? Yes or not? Ok, déjalo en los comentarios. Muy bien, vamos a la última expresión. I am used to working late. Una traducción literal al español podría ser estoy usado a trabajar tarde. I am used to working late. Lo cual no es incorrecto, pero suena poco natural. Una traducción más adecuada en este caso podría ser estoy acostumbrado a trabajar hasta tarde. Fíjate, el used, si bien la palabra used también significa usado, cuando dices con el verbo to be, I am used, ahí es estoy acostumbrado. Fíjate, used es acostumbrado. Y lo mismo sucede para cualquier persona. Por ejemplo, my mom is used to working all day long. Está acostumbrada a trabajar durante todo el día. O sea, she is used. Ella está acostumbrada. No ella está usada, sino ella está acostumbrada. ¿Sí? Además, algo así como to working late, a trabajar tarde. Bueno, pues yo trabajo tarde. O trabajo temprano. O trabajo en la mañana o trabajo en la tarde. Pero otra cosa es trabajar hasta tarde. Entonces aquí, I am used to working late. Estoy acostumbrado a trabajar hasta tarde. ¿Qué tal, my friends? ¿Y tú? ¿Hasta cuándo estás acostumbrado a trabajar? Déjamelo aquí en los comentarios. Bien, si les gustó el video, regálenme un like, compartan este video. Otra cosa, si quieren hacerse miembros de mi canal y aprender inglés por solo una cuota tan pequeñísima como menos de $5 al mes, ustedes pueden tener acceso a 16 lecciones con ejercicios. Son 16 lecciones que yo ya he hecho, que las tengo aquí montadas, lecciones completas, pero con ejercicios interactivos. ¿Qué significa eso? Que ustedes van a tomar su celular y van a resolver los ejercicios que yo les doy. Haz de cuenta, te pongo la lección 1, por ejemplo, y te pongo allí hasta 5 o 6 ejercicios. Te pongo la lección 2, la miras, la analizas y te pongo allí los ejercicios. Los ejercicios tú le das clic y los resuelves en el celular. Así de fácil, my friends. Ve al botón unirse en la página principal de mi canal o en la descripción de este video. Ahí va a aparecer el enlace para que te unas y te hagas miembro y aprendas inglés. Ojo, nivel principiantes. Ok, my friends. Bien, ahora sí nos despedimos. Comparte este video con alguien que le interese y dale like. Bye.